What you are about to hear is not a mistake. It is not confusion. It is not poor investigation. In this trial, a police officer did not record a statement. He manufactured one. Constable Zungu did not write what Gwabini said. He wrote what the state needed. And today, I'm going to show you how one police lie poisoned the entire Meyiwa trial. Stay with me, because this is where the case truly collapsed.
2017, kuthe kufika uConstable Zungu kimi eqala ungivakashela efika noMakhosoke.
In 2017, when Constable Zungu came to visit me, when he was visiting me for the very first time,
Yes.
he was in the company of Makosonke.
Wadibana nami ehambana nangu umuzi behamba ngemoto yamaphoyisa beya eOverland eGoldsport.
He came across me. He was in the company of Muzi. They were traveling in a police vehicle.
Yes,
they
but-
were going to the Gold Spot.
Sorry to interrupt you. The question was, how would Brigadier Gininda have known about the fact that you ride a bicycle?
Ngiyaxolisa ukuthi nje ngikuphazamise umbuzo ubuthi uBrigadier Gininda wazi kanjani noma wayizokwazi kanjani ukuthi uhamba ngebhayisikili.
Bengicela ukuthi mfundeni bengambuza yena ngoba
Let me explain to you, how do I know? He's busy explaining, the state says no, but how does he know? Let his witness explain, and this is what the court has been saying all along, that the witness must be given an opportunity to explain himself out.
Well, my lord, the question is confined to whether Brigadier Gininda, or how Brigadier Gininda would have known about the fact that he rides a bicycle. That is a question. It doesn't call for any long explanation, my lord.
What about the story about Makosonke? You don't want to know about Makosonke.
Well, say, my lord, the question was only about how this information would have found its way here if he says that is not the statement that he made.
Let's hear what he says.
As a
Because
process, yes, you
the
may
other
proceed.
the other question which he answered was that even Muzi, accused number one, doesn't know that I ride a bicycle.
Yes.
Now he says there is somebody who perhaps knows that he rides a bicycle, and he happens to be, I think, Gininda. Let us hear.
Just a correction. He never mentioned Muzi. He spoke about
Who did he mention?
Mafika.
Yeah, okay, sorry, Mafiga. He
Yes.
says Mafiga doesn't know that he rides a bicycle. Sorry.
So I don't know who Mafiga is. So that cannot
Yeah,
be
fine.
imputed to be accused number one. Because accused number one is Moses Bia. I don't
so
know
he
who Mafiga
talks about
is.
somebody else.
Yes.
Fine. Not about number one, no problem.
Yes.
oh madibana noMuzi ekhuphuka bebheke eOverland kuMuzi imoto yamaphoyisa bahamba ngayo ifika uConstable Zungu uMuzi ehlezi ngemumva noMakhosoke.
I then came across Muzi. They were traveling in a police vehicle. Muzi was seated at the back with Makosonke, together with Constable Zungu. They were going to Overland at the Gold Spot.
Lapha kumemeza khona uMuzi ngihamba ngebhayisikili wangimemeza wathi wegeda na abantu bezokuvakashela.
That's where Muzi called me out and say, "Hey, Geda, here are people who came to visit you."
Ngabuza baqhamuka labo bantu labo
I then asked or inquired, where are those people coming from?
ngoba uzwe kade ngamgcina ngisamazi nje.
Because I haven't seen Zwe in a long time. He's a stranger to me.
Ngabatshenta bahambe soficana endlini.
I told them to then go ahead. We'll meet each other at home.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ke uConstable Zungu na uMuzi estatementini sakho ngoba ngithi statement sami sabuya ngapha kwesikaMuzi kuvela lapho ukuthi mina ngihamba ngebhayisikili futhi bakuthola lapho babuginindi ukuthi mina ngihamba ngebhayisikili.
As I said that I had previously suggested that whatever was contained in the statement that was purported to be coming from Muzi should be then transferred over to me. So I think that's where Brigadier Gininda then got the information that I was riding a bicycle.
Lento sikhuluma ngayo into 2014 akathi into 2017 le.
What we are talking about here is something that happened in 2014 and not 2017.
Yes.
Yebo.
2017 ngiqala ukuvakashela uConstable Zungu ehamba ngephola elimhlophe hayi elisilver.
In 2017 was the very first time that I was visited by Constable Zungu. He was traveling in a white polo, not a silver polo.
2014 nje ayikho nje into engazi ngikhuluma 2014.
There's
Angazi nje
nothing-
lutho.
There's nothing that I ever said about 2014. I know nothing. Uthini Glock?
Ngoba ngisho nje ukuthi akukho engakuphendula la makuthi owa 2014 lokho. Ayikho into engiyazi ku2014.
As I say that there is nothing that I can respond to here. If it is in 2014, I know nothing with regards to 2014.
Next paragraph. When I arrived back in my hostel block, I noticed that the silver polo was gone and the three were nowhere to be seen inside the block.
Ngathi uma ngibuyela khona ke kwi block engihlala kona ke ehostel ngase ngiqaphela ke ukuthi ke ipolo leyo esilver ke yase ingekho kanti nabo ke bobathathu ke babe ngabonakala indawo ngaphakathi kuyona iblock leyo.
I met my visitors who are Makosonke Zungu from Limpopo and Zoe Zungu, who is a police officer.
Ngahlangana nazo ke ivakashi zami ekwaku Makosonke Zungu waseLimpopo kanye naye ke uZwe Zungu okwakuyiphoyisa.
We sat and chatted until it was darker.
Sahlala ke saxoxa kwaze kwabamnyama.
Your comment up to this point?
Uthini ke kulokho?
Hayi 2017 uzwe wahamba elikhanya wathi uyesaba ukuhlala ehostel.
In 2017, when Zwe left, it was still early and it was still light. He said that he was scared to remain in the hostel.
While we were talking, I heard the VW Polo returning and saw Sifiso Ntuli, Muzi Sibia, and Mafika Ntanzi walking in. Muzi took one of the drink that had a sip on it and said, "Do we know that Senzo Maiwa is dead?"
Sathi ke sisakhuluma ke lapho ngezwa ke iVW Polo ibuya ngabona ke uSifiso Ntuli, uMuzi Sibiya kanye noMafika Ntanzi bengena. Umuzi wathatha ke esinye seyiphuzo ke esasilapho noma esasikuphuziwe ke kusona wabe esethi ke ingabe siyazi yini ukuthi uSenzo Maiwa useshonile.
Your comment?
Uthini kulokho?
Bayasazi.
No, I don't know.
We were shocked to hear this, but thought maybe he does not mean it. The time of their return could have been between 2000 hours and 2100 hours. After a few minutes, more or less 20 minutes, two more guys, namely Carlos Butelezi and Mtokosizeni Mapisa. The two were walking. I did not see any car. I further recall that it was a weekend.
Kwasithusa ke noma sathuka kwasethusa ke ukuzwa kona ke lokhu kodwa ke sayicabangela ke ukuthi ke kwangasilona iqiniso lokho ayeqeda ukusho. Isikhathi ke ababuya ngaso kwakungenzeka ukuthi kwangaba phakathi kuka 8 ntambama noma ke ebusuku noma ke u9 emuva ke kwemizuzu nje embalwa ke imizuzu nje engaba u20 kwangena abanye futhi ke noma kwangena ke abanye abalisa ababili ke uCarlos Buthelezi kanye noMthokoziseni Mapisa babehamba ayikho imoto engayibona ngiyakhumbula. Okay. Yes.
Sorry, your comment?
Uthini ke kulokho kwana lokho?
Hayi akengozia.
No, I know nothing.
Let's be very clear from the start. In South African law, a statement must be voluntary, in the accused's own words, and accurately recorded. What we saw in this court is the opposite. Gwabeni did not narrate a version. He did not dictate a story. He says, "Take what Muzi said about me, make it mine, and I will sign." He knows nothing about the murder of Senzo. This statement sounds like the very same fairy tale Constable Zungu narrated during his testimony. That alone already destroys the reliability of this document. But it gets worse. Constable Zungu only met Gwabeni in 2017 and suddenly produces a detailed narrative about a murder that happened in 2014. That is not contemporaneous evidence. That is not investigation. That is backward construction of a case. And when the words in the statement match Zungu's fairy tale, not Muzi's version, not Gwabeni's voice, then legally, this is not a statement. It is a police-authored script, falsely attributed to Gwabeni. And once a court accepts even one manufactured statement, the question is no longer, are this accused guilty? The question becomes, how much of this entire case was invented? So let me ask you this. If the police were telling the truth, why did they need to write Gwabeni's words for him? And if they lied once, how many times did they lie? In this very courtroom? If you value truth over theatre, please subscribe to this channel. Like this video so more people can see what is really happening in this courtroom. Share it with someone who still believes this trial is about justice, not fiction. And comment below, do you believe Constable Zungu told the truth or ruined this case? To everyone who keeps supporting this channel, thank you for standing with truth, for standing with victims, and for standing with justice. Your support keeps this analysis independent and fearless. I'm Skybridge, and I'll see you in the next upload. Goodbyes.